Now the legal due diligence, triggers in. It's a critical component to any corporate transaction. But what does it comprise of? What does it constitute of? The key areas, I think, would be the material business contracts. I'll go in the order of priority as I understand it.
Okay.
Material business contracts. So if I have a business contract which says that, you have to seek my consent, or if there's a lender document which says that, before entering into a change in control transaction, change in control happens because of acquisition of shares, assuming it's majority transaction. So I'm buying 51% or more, 50% or more shares of a particular company, and that company has entered into a customer contract saying that, I'll continue to do business with you. If there is a change in control in me as an entity, I will take a prior consent. So you'll obviously have to read the material business contracts to verify, check any prerequisites for the proposed transaction. Otherwise, the whole transaction goes for a 6. Then intellectual property rights. Assuming I'm Heinz and I propose to acquire Glaxo. Glaxo for the brand and the goodwill related to the trademark of the brand. Assuming Glaxo's brand is only opposed, it is not owned by it, then basically the exercise is to check whether the ownership or the right to use of that particular mark which I am associating the valuation for is actually owned by the company at hand. Then the corporate history and the transactions. What is the capitalization of the company? What is the share capital buildup of the company? What is the impact on any past filings and transactions, such as joint venture agreement, such as shareholders agreement, assuming the company or the promoters you're buying the shares from are subject to a shareholders agreement which say that, firstly you will sell the shares to the other shareholders. It's like a ROFR, right? How can you, without undergoing that process, sell it to me, which is a third party? So ensuring that, it's in compliance with all the provisions, all the norms, all the conditions which are contained in the agreements which the shareholders are part of. Then the financial indebtedness, loan documentation. The company has taken a term loan, bridge loan, working capital loan from so many financial institutions, so many banks, etc., that have to be taken into account. Because they can have restrictive covenants, they can have negative covenants. In the sense, you cannot transfer any part of the capital or any part of the shares that you have, or you cannot transfer this particular business. If it's a BTA, then you have this particular entire business vertical or this building. You cannot transfer that because it's mortgaged in my favor. So you have to take the prior consent of the bank at hand. Then the employment matters. Employment matters means what is a PF, what is the gratuity, are these regular workers, are these contract workers? So if I'm buying a business division which has 26 employees, those 26 employees have completed 3 years of the service. Now the entity is changing. It was owned by X earlier. Now Y is coming in. Y being me, I'm buying the entire business vertical. They'll say, I want the benefit of gratuity tomorrow. If I leave after 3 years, actually I've continued in work uninterruptedly for 5 years. But since you change the composition or change the constitution of the firm, it's not my problem. So all these problems. So employment matters. Then litigation and other proceedings. What if there is a winding up proceeding under 536 of the old Companies Act and New Companies Act, I think it's 435. There's a winding up litigation proceeding against the company which you're going to acquire, or any other material litigation which is affecting and impacting the business operations of the target. Then consents, licenses, regulatory approvals and permits. If I'm acquiring a company which manufactures batteries, it has the approval in its name. Now I'm acquiring it by way of a business transfer and I have to shift the license in my name, right? So all the permissions, whether they are absolutely firstly obtained by the acquirer or by the target, and then checking for any restriction which may impact the acquirer as a result of the proposed transaction. Then we have real property. What is real property? Immovable property. We have to check the title. We have to check whether the land is owned, whether the building is owned. This is a separate department, sub-registrar of assurances, which deals with all the immovable properties. That's very important. Then you have insurances, etc., etc. Like all the insurances which are taken by professional indemnity insurance, from that to fire insurance, to Mediclaim, to group insurance, to accidental insurance, to marine insurance, everything, whether that has appropriate coverage or not.